Greetings shooting fans, and welcome to part 2 of my shooting review of the Umarex Legends Cowboy rifle in 4.5mm CO2. As you can see, it's a little bit frosty this morning. I've just taken the dogs for a walk and I've just finished chipping the ice blocks off them. And it's sunny, but we all know that CO2 and cold weather are not necessarily a match made in heaven. So I'm going to do my very best to test the shooting capabilities of this air rifle, but bear in mind that the weather conditions are not exactly ideal and I might have to do a follow-up video at some point in the future. But anyway, keep watching and hopefully it'll be good. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is load up my shells. Not my shell, I'm not loading them. What am I talking about? The first thing I need to do is load up my shells. I'm going to try and test the rifle with a range of BBs and also taking a bit of a risk and firing some pellets through it. To load the BBs into the shells, take the BBs, in this case I'm using plastic blaster rounds, and the reason I'm choosing these is because I did a comparison of BBs a while back and found that the blaster were actually one of the most accurate BBs. Being light, they should give us a higher velocity as well. And you just insert them into the back of the shell, like so. So I'm just going to go and do that for a little bit. Call me a wuss if you like, but I'm doing as much of this video indoors as I can today. Mainly because I want to keep the temperature of the CO2 up. I think if I'm outside it will rapidly drop and we'll lose shooting performance. So now I've loaded up my shells, and I've actually loaded 11. I'm going to load them into the rifle. I showed you how to do this on my last video. Obviously in this case the BBs I've got are loaded into the shells. It's a bit slippy, and I'll tell you the reason why. When I was shooting it the other day, the shells ended up in the dirt a fair amount, and as a result I didn't want microscopic bits of dirt getting into the rifle, so I gave them all a bit of a clean down with some light silicone oil and an oilcloth, and they're a bit slippy. Okay, so there's 10, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to chamber around, and then I can fit number 11 in. Okay, so 10 plus 1. Here's something new. I'm not trying accuracy, I'm just doing this for the sake of videography. Okay, I don't really want to talk about the first attempt. My big problem is that I just cannot focus at all on the rear sight because I've got this weird long-sighted, short-sighted thing going on. So I can see the front sight really clearly and the target, but I can't really see the rear sight, so I've got no idea what my elevation is like on the target. I managed to hit it twice from 10 yards, which isn't sort of fantastic. It's a 14 centimetre. Hang on. It's one of these. Now this is shooter error, it's not the rifle. So what I'm going to do is I'm moving in to a much closer distance. So at least I've got an idea of where my shots are going. Are they going high, are they going low, or whatever, and I might have to adjust the rear sight. So come back to it and have another go. It's trial and error. So yeah, a little bit disappointed with myself more than anything else. I desperately need new glasses, I think. Alright, these are the blasters. It's not very impressive, but I really do think this is my shooting. So I think we can see that things are starting to move a little bit more to the centre, maybe slightly high. I am aiming kind of around about here, but it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. I'm only shooting at 6 yards, so they should be grouping a lot tighter than that. Now this could be down to a number of things. I think number one, it's probably my sight picture. I just can't get a decent sight picture because I can't focus on the rear sights. It could be the fact that it's really cold, and things have improved since I put new CO2 in it, and it might be the fact that my aiming point is being obscured by bright sunlight exactly to the rear of the target. So, but it could also be the fact that these BBs do not like this rifle, so we're going to try loads of different types and see where we go from there. Alright, so these are the Umarex steels, and you can already see that there's a significant improvement there. Now the only thing that's changed here is the pellets. The rifle still only had 20, 21, 22 shots through it. I know I missed once, but I'm pretty sure I went high. They're much more in the centre now. Still really struggling with the sight picture, but it's shooter error now. I think the BBs make a huge difference. I'm going to try a few more types and see if I can get the best result. So these are the H&N sights, the coated lead pellets. These are actually not very good in my pistols, but that's a lot better. Now considering I'm still struggling to get a good sight picture, I mean that's a nice tidy group there in the middle, and they're bang on. So you can clearly see, you know, it's not the rifle, it's definitely the shooter, and it's definitely BBs. So we're going to try now another bit of a punt this one. We're going to try the Camo lead BBs, and hopefully it won't jam. Okay, these are the Camo lead. I'm just disappointed in my own shooting. It's such a struggle for me. The way that the sights are set up, I just cannot focus. But I feel like the Camo lead BBs, which are jammed in every single other air pistol that I've got, not like the CO2 ones, I think these have got potential. I think this is just my really naff, crappy shooting. We'll just have to. I don't know. You shouldn't really take any notice of me, really, because I think there's nothing wrong with the actual BBs. I think these BBs would work really well in the gun, although, you know, the H&N sights are the best so far. It's frustrating because it's very hard for me to give you an honest review, but I shall plod on. I've got 2 more to try. I think I'm going to put some new gas in the rifle as well, because I've now had 40 what feels like full power shots. Oh, you know what, I could have had, I reckon, at least another 10 or 20 shots. I think it was a mistake to change them after only 40 shots. Now that's a good thing, but I'm now going to have to wait for the gas to leak out slowly and then warm up again before I shoot. Still tons of gas in there. I should have left it longer. You know, when you do experiments and you take a risk and that you wish later that you never had done. Well, this isn't one of those times, because that is by far the best grouping, and I'm still really struggling to get a good sight picture. It's just so blurry for me. But I mean, look at that. That is just excellent, considering how much difficulty I'm having. It's not the gun that's the problem, it's the shooter. If you have got a good sight picture, you're going to be able to nail that bull every single time, and this is with pellets. So let's just have a quick look at these. These are flathead. Let's see if I can. There we go. Flat-headed target pellet, and they seem to be punching really clean holes in the paper. They're certainly grouping really well. You know, there's 2 shots, 1, 2. You know, they're definitely all on target. I don't think I missed at all with these. So, and my sight, my aiming point was just there. Now I'm only at 6 yards, which you might think, well, that doesn't prove anything, but you know how much trouble I'm having just with my eyesight. And if the rifle can do that with pellets, then I think that it's a pellet rifle. This isn't a BB rifle, this is a pellet rifle masquerading as a BB gun. So there you have it, folks. Right, folks, I suppose I better sum the whole thing up then. Umarex Legends CO2 BB rifle is actually not what it says on the box at all. In fact, this is a pellet rifle, and it's better as a pellet rifle, and I don't think you should bother putting BBs in it. My experience has been flawless with the lead pellets. Of all the BBs, the H&N Excite lead coated, copper coated lead BBs performs the best. My shooting is absolutely not up to par. As I said repeatedly, and I'm gonna cut loads out of this because I spent ages and ages and ages trying all the different types of BB and endlessly commenting on each one, and in the end it doesn't matter, because you're not going to fire BBs from this gun. You're going to shoot pellets with it because the BBs are awful. What don't I like about it? All right, and this is very, very personal. I don't like the sights. I think that if this had like a post sight with an aperture, it would be much better for my eyes, because I really just can't focus on stuff that's kind of near to me. And I know I need new glasses, but bifocals isn't going to fix that problem. So I was just having to get nearer to the target to be safe and to make sure I was hitting things. But that is a me problem. That is not this rifle problem. And if you don't have that problem, you're going to find that you're going to be able to get real accurate performance from this, especially with the BBs. And I think there's another YouTuber who has already shown evidence for that. Is there anything else I don't like? I'm going to say that the buttstock of the rifle is slippy. I found that it was a little bit difficult to keep that in place. It was sliding off. I'm wearing a kind of a shell fleece, and it was sliding off my shoulder a little bit. Gosh, I mean, none of this is a deal breaker, because this just performs. It's just brill. I mean, it's so much better than I thought it was going to be. And when I started shooting it and I was using BBs, I was disappointed. I thought, oh, this is going to be rubbish. The accuracy is going to be terrible. Everyone's going to be moaning, oh, it's rubbish. The accuracy is no good. It's no good for anything. But actually, that's not the case at all. It's a really competent bit of kit, and it's like for just over 200 quid, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's performed with no real malfunctions other than me not cocking the handle properly. It hasn't. There's been no jams with the BBs or the pellets. It's got excellent gas economy. I'm going to say 60 guaranteed good shots from this. And it's the freezing cold day today. I mean, you've seen how frosty it was this morning when I started filming, and it's a bit warmer, but it's definitely not over 4 or 5 degrees, and that's not a good environment for CO2. So if this thing is still managed to chuck out the pellets, I think it's partly because of the design. It's quite well insulated from the cold, unlike, you know, I've in the past I reviewed the Hameli 850, and that would freeze in cold weather. It would literally freeze up, and the moisture in the air would condense in the barrel, and it would just stop firing. And it also didn't work in really hot temperatures either. So it'd be interesting to see what this does on a warm day. But wow, you know, you've got to go out. You've got to go out and buy this. This is one that I'm gonna just put my reputation. Not that I've got a reputation. I'm gonna put my reputation on the line and say, go out and buy one of these. Treat yourself to one of these, and you won't be disappointed. It's just huge fun. Don't expect it to be a world-class, you know, target rifle. You don't need to go sticking optics on it or anything like that. It's just meant to be. You're meant to shoot tin cans, you know, off a wall with this, you know, not punch holes in paper, but get one, just get one. So thanks very much for watching. I know this is very waffly, you know that's my style. I'm telling you exactly what I think, and this is just opinion. So if you don't agree with me, then that's fine. You know, your experience varies. But if I was going out again to buy something, then, and this was on the menu, then it would be this. There'd be no question, absolutely no question. I would be going and buying this. So thanks for watching. Hope you found this useful, and happy shooting. And always remember, have fun, but shoot safe.